It's so important to create a positive candidate experience. I mean, I've seen candidates who apply to jobs and they don't hear any feedback from the company that they applied to, and they walk away thinking, well, maybe I didn't want to work there. So when you're going through a positive candidate experience, you got to think about a lot of things. You got to think about your reputation in terms of a brand, because 50% of people, if you don't have a positive brand, they're probably not going to come back to you, and that's a really negative thing that they're going to experience through their candidate experience. And of that, I mean, if they have a bad candidate experience, they never got a rejection letter, they never got any feedback through the process, they're probably going to tell their friends and their family. And of that, some of those people actually go post on social media, and that really damages your reputation because it's forever. But the worst part is of a terrible candidate experience is that you just potentially lost it on a customer. Even if somebody's not going to be a candidate with you, they still potentially could become a customer. And that's why it's so critically important that you have a positive candidate experience no matter at what stage they are in the process. Well, you treat a candidate like a customer because a candidate is a customer. It's a potential customer. And so it's really important that every aspect of engaging with a candidate, you treat them as if they could become a potential even sale. Because sometimes we meet people and they may not be successful in the process in terms of a selection process, but if you treat them well, they potentially can be a client of yours down the road. Now the other thing is that you also have to think about, when people apply to you cold online, and they go to your career website, you want to make sure that they can easily navigate your website, the opportunity, they can find information about you, but also that they can click through to apply to you, just like as if somebody's buying something from you as well, that it's easy to do. And then of course the last thing is that, at the end of the day, if somebody's not a candidate, then they can be a customer, they can be a center of influence, they can provide you referrals. It's no different than any sales process because sometimes not everybody's going to buy from you, but they still might recommend your products and services. So you really got to think about when you're treating people, treat them well through the process and always treat them like a VIP. Well, feedback is a valuable part of any process. I mean, as a salesperson or you as a recruiter, keeping people in the loop is always something that's going to benefit you down the road. So by providing people feedback on a continual basis, no matter what part of the process they're in, it's letting them know that you care. And I think it's really important. I mean, one of the things that we do is, as a part of our assessments, is we provide real-time feedback when people fill out an assessment. And as a part of that, I've seen people actually walk away and come back years later and say, you know what, I still carry around that feedback because it was about me, it was about my strengths, about who I was as a person, and it helped me guide my career. So in some essence, providing feedback sometimes can be free career advice. Again, if somebody is not a successful candidate moving forward, you're giving them something back, and it's actually a service to your community. And so providing feedback to people, no matter at what stage in the process, is crucial. And as I mentioned before, I mean, they could be a referral, they could be a candidate, it could be a client, and they can provide you with centers of influences as well. Candidate feedback can be so valuable in converting over high potentials. We call them hypos. And those hypos, if you give them back some feedback and you actually say to them and say, you know what, we use this scientific tool so that we can help identify people who are actually already successful with us. And what this report is telling us is that you can be successful with us. So as you can see, that feedback tool can be a turn-on tool as well. And so by using that feedback, you can actually be helping people think, geez, this might be the right choice for me, and you should be able to leverage that in the process.